Hey, it's Nathan with optionsforall.com. In this video, we're going to go over how to buy put options on Schwab. Now, we're going to go over how to do it on mobile, and then we'll hop over and do it on their website. Now, if you're only interested in doing it on their website, I still recommend watching the whole video because when we go through it on mobile, I'm going to go through settings in more details, and the same settings exist on their website as they do in mobile. So watching the whole video will give you more details on all the different settings. Also, this is going to be like a technical video on how to buy the put options on Schwab. If you're interested in put options or long put strategy, I have a blog post right here that explains it. And I also have a video on long put options as well that'll be published before this video even comes out. So if you're interested on the long put strategy, check out that video or this article here. If you're interested in buying put options on Schwab, then watch this video right here that you're currently watching. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open up the mobile and we'll go through it together. All right, here we are on the Schwab mobile app, and in order to buy a put option, you want to come on down to trade at the bottom here. And then you want to go ahead and select on options at the top. So we'll tap on options, and then you want to enter the symbol or company name that you're looking for. I'm going to go ahead and tap in there, and I'm going to type in SPY for SPY. And I can see it showed up right there, so I'll go ahead and tap on it. And there we go. So I'm looking at the options for SPY. It loads up some relevant information like the current price of SPY is $755.76. We have our bid size, ask and size, last size, as of, and then we get into the actual options stuff, which is what we're focused on right here. Now we could go ahead and select the strategy, but I'm going to skip over that because I like to manually control what I'm doing with my options. So we're skipping over select strategy, and we're just going to go straight into leg one. So we're only doing one leg in this particular transaction because we're only buying a put option. Now if you're buying and selling a put option at the same time, then you would have a multi-leg transaction. But we're going to focus on just one leg. We're buying a put option here. There's a couple different ways you can go through the process. You could tap on chain, which will load up the options chain, and that's the method that we're going to go ahead and follow because I think if you understand the options chain anywhere, then you can apply it anywhere else. Rather than simply going through the Schwab order form, although their order form is pretty simplistic as well, but we're going to go through the chain method because the chain is everything. So we're going to go ahead and tap on chain, and it loads up our options chain. And it automatically loaded with one of the expiration dates fully extended. So we have June 1st extended, which is a dates to expiration of 1 day. And that's not what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and tap right here. So that way it shrinks it. And then I can see all my expiration dates. You could also, if it doesn't have all the expiration dates or you want one further out, like you go ahead and select a different time frame in order to get further out. But I'm just going to go about 30 days out to June 30th right here. So I'll go ahead and tap on that, and then we'll take a look at our chain. Now you might also notice that there's only 8 strikes showing, which might not be enough. We might want one further in the money or out of the money, so we can tap on this 8 right here, and you can select how many strikes you want to see. So I'm going to go ahead and set it to 48, so that way we have a larger chain available to us. And I need to come back down here to our expiration. And now I have a fuller chain. Now on the options chain, we have 2 sides. We have the call side right here, and we have the put side right here. We are buying a put in this video, so we need to be focused on the put side. I also want to show you that you can scroll to the right, and it'll show you some more details like the last, the change, the volume, open interest, delta, and so on. So you can go ahead and view more information about the particular options by scrolling left or right. You can also tap on this icon up here and edit your columns. So tap in that real quick. And so if you want additional information or less information, you could go ahead and add or delete it from your columns. Once you're happy, you can click on save in the top right corner. All right, so there we go. That's kind of the standard how you can use their options chain. Now it's a matter of figuring out the strike price and everything. So hopefully you've done your research and you know what strike price you want to go ahead and buy for your put option. I'm going to come down here to the 750 strike price because I think that SPY is going to drop past 742 in the next 30 days or so. So I'm eyeballing this 750 strike price. Again, a put option gives you the right to sell stock at a certain price. So this would give me the right to sell SPY at $750 per share. So buying a put option is a bearish strategy. Now I do have to pay a premium for that right. and the premium is right here at $8.57, or whatever I wind up buying the contract for. And so this amount is something you need to keep in the back of your mind as well, because this gets us to our break-even point, which we'll talk a little bit more about in just a minute. And also, I'm looking at this column because this is the ask column. So the ask is what the sellers are asking for their put option. So they're asking for the $8.57, and the bid price is what the buyers are willing to buy the put option for. So there's obviously a difference right there, and that's called the bid-ask spread. So it's $8.52 is what the buyers are willing to buy it for. $8.57 is what the sellers are willing to sell it for. So there's a middle ground, and that's usually called the midpoint. And in this case, it'd be like $8.55. And typically, that's what you can expect to pay for an option, or what you might expect to receive when you're selling an option. Anyway, when you want to buy an option, you need to go to the ask side, and you just tap on the price. So in this case, I'm tapping on $8.57, and it fills in the order form for us. So now we're on the order form. So if you wanted to just go straight through the order form, you could have, but I think learning the chain is important, because that's where like everything is and happens. All right, so we have our action. We have buy to open, or BTO. We're buying to open our position, that put option. We have quantity, so the number of contracts that we want to buy. So we have one right there. Our expiration date of June 30th, 2026. Now, of course, if we wanted to change things right here, we could go ahead and tap on it and select a different expiration date if we wanted to. But I'm going to leave it on June 30th. So I'll come up here and tap on cancel. And our strike price, $7.50. And again, we could tap on that and change our strike price if we wanted to do that there. We have the call or put. We are buying a put, so it's selected. And then we have the pricing. So we have the bid, again, what the buyers are willing to buy it for. We have the ask, which is the price the sellers are willing to sell it for. And then we have the mid, which is the middle point between the two. Let's move on down. We're not going to add any legs because we're just doing a one leg order. We're buying a put option. Let's talk a little bit about order types. Also, you can go ahead and click on this eye icon, and I'll give you some more information on the order type. So I'm not going to go into detail on all of them in this particular video, but you can see that there's pretty decent definitions and write-ups, and of course there's videos and trainings on the different order types as well. We're going to focus on two different order types in this video. So the first one is limit, and a limit order means that you will not pay more than the price that you enter right here. So in this case, I'm willing to pay $8.57 for this contract and not a penny more. Now, the good part about that is I won't pay a penny more than $8.57, and also I might pay less than $8.57. Like if a seller comes down and they're willing to sell it for $8.55, I'll get it for $8.55. Now, one thing about limit orders is if a seller doesn't sell it for $8.57, well, then my order will stay open and it won't get filled. So that's kind of the risk of having a limit order, is if you don't have it set at a price that a seller is going to sell it to you for, well, then it's going to just linger around until you cancel the order or you change it. So if you want your order to go through, you probably want to be closer to the ask price. If you kind of want to squeak out a few more bucks or whatever, you could go closer to the midpoint. If you want to compete with a bunch of other bidders or buyers, you can come to the bid price. And then if you want it for like a lot less, like maybe you only want it for $7 or something like that, you could go ahead and enter 7 right there. Now, of course, your order will not fill for probably a while, unless the price of SPY goes up and the value of the put options goes down in that case, in which case your order might fill. But simply setting it at $7 doesn't mean it's going to fill. You got to have somebody willing to sell it to you for that price. So again, the price people are selling it to you for is that ask price. So we're just going to leave it at that, and I can go ahead and tap on ask and it fills it in for me. All right, let me click on limit, and there's also market. So let me tap on that real quick. So market order means that the order will fill at the market price, which is probably $8.57. So your order will fill right away, whatever the market price is at that moment in time. And typically it's that ask price that you see right there. Now, one quick caveat, the market orders can only be placed when the market is open. So if you're trying to place an order when the market's closed, like on Sunday, then you can't place a market order. So I'm going to come back to limit, and we'll stay with that. All right, now we get into timing, and there's day only. So that means that if your order is not filled within the day, it will cancel after the day ends. And I'm going to go ahead and tap on day only. And there's also good till canceled. So what that means is your order will stay open until it either fills or you cancel it or the option expires. And you can also change your expiration for this order as well. So right now it defaulted to the expiration date of the contract, but maybe you want to keep it open for, half the time or something to June 17th. You could go ahead and tap on that. And now my order would stay open until June 17th, and if it's not filled by then it would cancel. So that's good till cancel. There's a few other options like fill or kill and immediate or cancel. Not going into detail on those in this video. You can click this little eye icon next to timing to get some definitions or explanations of those types of orders, but they're a little bit more advanced. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and switch it to day only. Now we get into special instructions, and special instructions really only apply if you have multiple contracts that you want to buy. So let me go ahead and increase this to 4, for example. So the default special instruction is none, and what that means is that if I'm able to buy one contract for $8.57 or less, then that's what it'll do. It'll fill that one order, and then it'll stay open until a seller is willing to sell another one for $8.57, or if the price doesn't come back down to $8.57, well then I'll only buy one contract out of the 4 that I was willing to buy. So that's what none means, is that I'm willing to buy partial orders, just so long as it meets my criteria, which is my limit price right there. There's also all or none, and what that means is that if I can't get all 4 contracts for $8.57 or less, well then I'm not going to buy any of them. So that's what all or none means there. And again, this really only applies if you're buying multiple contracts. I'm going to go ahead and reduce that back down to 1. And there we go. Finally, we have trade calculator. I'll go ahead and tap on that. And this just basically breaks down our profit and loss and different details for it and our chart and things like that. And nothing super fancy, but it does show us our break even. So our break even right there is $741.43, and that is our strike price. So $750 minus $8.57 gives us our break-even point. So that means that we need the price of SPY to be less than $741.43 at expiration in order for us to generate a profit. And you can see, if it drops to $635.80, I'll make $10,562.79. So that'd be super awesome. But this just gives us a simplified view of our profit and loss. Of course, you can do further analysis. We have a position analyzer on optionsforall.com you could check out if you want more details. But anyway, once you're ready, you can go ahead and tap on review order, and it'll validate your order, give you some information here, and then assuming you have enough funds in your account, which I do not at this time, you go ahead and click on place order, and it would place your order, and hopefully it would fill for your price or less than your price. Now, if it doesn't fill right away and you really want it to go through, you can come back in and edit your order and increase your limit price or set it for a market order and have your order go through. So that's how you can buy a put option on Schwab Mobile. Now I'm going to hop over to their website and go through the process over there. All right, here we are on the Schwab website. Now, if you didn't watch the mobile version, I do recommend you go ahead and do that because I went through a lot of options in great detail. And in this portion of the video, we're going to go quickly through the options because they're the same options as the mobile version. We just click a little bit different on the website than we do on the mobile app. All right, so here we are. We want to go to trade and we want to click on options or chains. I'm just going to go straight into chains, and we'll load up the options chain area. Now we need to go ahead and enter our symbol. So I'm going to go ahead and enter SPY, so SPY, and we can go ahead and it loads up the SPY information. We got our details for the SPY stock right here. So there's that info. We have trade builder. We're going to skip over that because we're going to build our own trade using the options chain. Coming on down, we have options chain. We have strategy, and it has it as calls and puts, which is the default, and we're going to go ahead and leave it there. Even though we are doing puts, you could do that and then it just shows you like half the options chain, but to me that looks lopsided, so I rather look at the whole options chain, so I have it show both calls and puts. Up next, we can select the number of strikes we want to see. So right now it's just showing 8 strikes, which might not be enough if we have a strike price, out of this particular range. So I'm going to go ahead and change it to 48. And then it lets us select the expirations we want to see. The default is 60, but if you want to go further or narrower, you could go ahead and do that as well. Then we get on down to the options chain right here, and it has the expiration dates extended already. So that might be a lot to scroll through. You can click on this double chevron right here to make it go up. So we'll do that, and that'll compress all the expiration dates and makes it a little bit more easy to navigate, I think. And then you can go ahead and navigate to your particular expiration date. I'm going with Tuesday, June 30th, which is the 30 days. So I'll go ahead and click on that and expand that expiration date. All right, now we can go ahead and find the put option that we want to go ahead and buy. Of course, we have both calls and puts on our view. So we're buying a put option, and we need to be focused on this side of our options chain. So let's navigate down and find the strike price that we want to buy our put option on. So we have our $750 strike price that we're looking at, and it has some of the details, like we got volume and open interest, which are very helpful. We can go ahead and click on more as well and view contract details, and it gives us even more contract details like the bid ask size and daily volume, contract specification, the Greeks, underlying quote, and so on. So that gives you more contract details. Additionally, you could go ahead and click on customize and edit columns, and you could enter or select columns that you want to see as well. So we'll go ahead and select some extra columns just for the sake of example and click on next. And we could change the order of them as well, and we'll click on save. So there we go. We got a few more columns in our options chain, but when we're ready, we want to look at the ask column, and the bid column is what the buyers are willing to pay for it, so the $857. And since we're buying it, we're going to go ahead and click on this $857, and it opens up our snap ticket, and we can go ahead and fill in the relevant information or change any settings. And this is pretty similar to the mobile app. So we have our account details, our strategy is a put, we are BTO, which means buying to open, and we have one contract, so you could change the quantity right there. There's our expiration date, there's our strike price. We're doing a put option, so it has all the information just in one line, just like that. There's the bid, the ask, the midpoint, and we have our order type, and we're going to stick with our limit right there. We have our price that we're willing to pay, our timing, and again, I went through all these different settings in the mobile overview. So if you didn't watch that, please go ahead and do that, as I'm not going to go through them again at this moment in time. We also get down to special instructions right there. We have trade and probability calculator. So this gives us a little bit more information compared to the mobile app. We can see our max profit and loss and our break-even point right here. And we have a nifty graph down here with probability of expiring or between, and it gives us like the standard deviations and things like that. We could also change some of the controls like implied volatility and annual dividend yield, interest rate, and so on. So a lot of different controls you could play with to modify the graph, and of course you can hover over it and see lots of different information. So lots of stuff going on there, a bit beyond the scope of this video. Let's go ahead and click on back. And so when you're ready, you can go ahead and click on review, and it'll let you review your order. And assuming you have enough funds in your account, which I do not have enough funds in my account to submit this order, you can go ahead and click on place order, and hopefully it would go through and fill. If it doesn't go through and fill in your time frame, you could come back in and edit your order and increase the limit price if you need to, or you could cancel your order or do whatever you want to do with your particular order. But that's how you go about buying a put option on Schwab, both mobile and their website. Again, if you're interested in learning about the long put strategy, check out the blog post. I'll link to it in the description down below. And I have a video coming out soon as well about the long put strategy. So check those out if you're interested in learning about the strategy, not just how to actually buy put options. And that's it for this video. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope you have a great day.